Hello, we're going to take a look at class search, how to use that, how to use the registration tools to get some classes added on to your schedule. From your MyASU page, we're going to start by clicking on class search right here. You want to make sure you're always on class search. You will be if you hit that button. There is also course catalog search. You don't want to ever click that. It will show you classes that don't exist anymore. A lot of things will be outdated. Just don't ever click that. You always want it on class search. You can select the term. By default, it'll be the one you're in or the upcoming one. Subject, you can start typing something in. If you start typing in chemistry, it will bring up the acronym there. 114 is the one that is on our major. There are some changes with general studies. If you're just starting out and this is your first semester, you'll be on the gold, but we won't go over that now. That's a little bit down the road. Now, when looking at the results, before you even look at them, you want to make sure you are clicking Open Seats. And it should, by default, just show you ASU Online. It shows me more as an advisor. But you want to make sure it's showing just online. And then we can scroll down here, and we can see we have the results for chemistry. Let's take a look at something that will have a couple more results for us. So if I start typing in math, it'll bring that up. 265 is the first math class on our major map. Now you notice I haven't clicked open seats yet. It's showing all of them, which includes ones that are full. You can't get into a full class, so we want to make sure that we are not selecting those. So here we have the results for Math 265. Whenever you see this arrow, you can always click on it and it'll expand for more information. This is where you'll see the course description. I think you know what calculus is, but if you're ever looking for some general studies classes or some technical electives, you'll want to read more about the description there. Real important thing here are the enrollment requirements. This is where you'll see the prerequisites and the co-requisites of the class. Now, for the most part, your advisor is going to have those memorized. We don't expect that of you, but we do expect you to know how to check them, how to see what the requirements for the class are, so that when you're planning out a curriculum plan, making a schedule, you know what can go where. So we see the prereq for Calc 1, you have to have either taken pre-calculus or place into it through the placement. You'll also see the reserves down here. Nearly every class is going to have the ASU Online Student Reserve. Only online students can take the online classes. Students at our campus-based programs cannot take ASU online classes. You can't take their iCourses or in-person classes. So you'll see that on just about all of them. Occasionally there will be some other reserves, but most of them are just going to have that ASU online. So here we have Math 265, the title. This number is unique for each line item. If you ever need to identify a section, I'm Math 265 with Professor Abramson, there's 2. So this is the number you will need to identify it. Instructor, if it ever says staff, don't worry, it's going to be a regular professor, faculty member. They just haven't assigned them yet, but they will, so don't worry about signing up for that. It's just fine. Location should always be ASU Online. And now we have the dates, and next to that you're going to see the letters B, A, and we don't have any here, but you will also see the letter C as well. Now the semester is 15 weeks long. If the class goes the entire 15 weeks, that is a C session class. That's the full semester. Some of the upper division and classes later down the road will be C session. There'll be a couple mixed in at the beginning, but most are towards the end. For the first little bit, you'll be doing A and B session classes. So A is the first 7 weeks of the semester. B is the last 7 weeks of the semester. There's a week gap in between. That's like a spring break or fall break in between. We have units, that's how many credits the class is worth, and then we have the open seats. The triangle means that it's reserved. You can click on this as well, same as the arrow, brings it up. We see it's reserved for ASU Online students. General Studies designations here. Again, if you're just starting, you're going to be on gold. If you started in 2023, you'll be on the maroon, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So if I see this class, 82768, A session, Math 265. I know I meet the prerequisites. I want to add it on. I'm going to click this add button. Now it's not going to work for me. I'm not enrolled in the fall semester, but it should work for you if you do meet the prerequisites. Once you click that add button, it's like online shopping. You put it in your shopping cart and then you try and check out. It'll make you click a couple times. You'll have to hit next, next. You try and hit the enroll button. When you hit the enroll button, you're going to get one of two results. Either a green check mark means you're in the class, or a red X means that something went wrong. If you get that red X, it's going to give you an error message. If you read it, you should be able to figure out what went wrong. It'll say you don't meet the prerequisites. So you can go back, you can look up the prerequisites, see what you missed. It will say that you are already in too many classes. You'll have to take a look at your schedule or something like that. If you read it, you should be able to figure it out. If not, you talk to your advisor. Now, there are a couple other tools you can use. When you're going to add something to your schedule, you'll typically use this class search. There are also some registration tools here. You can use the add button to add a class on, but it requires that you know that 5-digit number. And you get the 5-digit number from going to class search. And if you're there, you might as well just click the add button. But if you've written it down or something ahead of time, you can use this. It's a little bit faster. That's also how you get back to your shopping cart if you ever get away from that. Schedule Planner is not the best. It will recommend the wrong classes. It'll say things are possible that aren't, or impossible that are. Just would not recommend that. Build your schedule manually. I would not recommend using the Schedule Planner. Drop Withdraw is a button you should never ever click until you've had an appointment with your biomedical engineering academic advisor beforehand. There are a number of bad things that can happen if you drop or withdraw the wrong course. The computer, if it's a prerequisite or co-requisite, it can, automatically drop other classes off of your schedule. It can extend your graduation timeline by a semester or a year just from a single class. There's a lot of things to go over if you are thinking of dropping or withdrawing. So if you ever get to that point, make sure you schedule an appointment right away. The last two, swap combines drop and add into a single transaction. So if you ever need to drop something and replace it with something else, swap is helpful. You won't use it often, but it's a little bit quicker when you need to. The last one you won't really use as an online student. This is for editing like the labs or recitations of classes, which as an online student you don't really have to worry about the time, so you won't use that one much. So those are the basics of scheduling. That is how you will add a class on, drop it if you need, switch it around. If you do have any questions, you just reach out to your advisor. Generally best to do so through an appointment so they can walk you through it and get your schedule all set up.